Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that I think many of us can relate to, how to deal with toxic people, and we're doing it the Stoic way. But first, let me share a personal story. Grab your popcorn because this one's a doozy. A few years ago, I had a colleague who I'll call Alex. Alex was the type of person who could find a dark cloud in any silver lining. You know the type. If they won the lottery, they'd complain about the taxes. They were constantly negative, critical, and just draining to be around. At first, I tried to be understanding, thinking maybe they were going through something tough. Maybe their cat ran away or they got a bad haircut, who knows? But over time, I noticed that their behavior was affecting my mood and my productivity. I felt stressed and anxious every time I had to interact with them. It was like carrying an emotional weight that I couldn't put down. I was practically running an emotional marathon every day. So what exactly is a toxic person? In simple terms, toxic people are those who consistently bring negativity and dysfunction into your life. Their behaviors can range from constant criticism and manipulation to passive aggressiveness and outright hostility. And trust me, they can wreak havoc on your mental well-being. It's like having a mosquito in your room at night. Persistent, annoying, and hard to ignore. Toxic people have some common traits. They often play the victim, refusing to take responsibility for their actions. They may be controlling, always trying to manipulate situations to their advantage. And they tend to drain your energy, leaving you feeling exhausted and emotionally depleted. For example, Alex would often make snide comments about my work, never offering constructive feedback, just criticism meant to undermine. They would also frequently shift blame for their mistakes onto others, creating a tense and hostile work environment. It's like they have a PhD in blame shifting and a black belt in passive-aggressive karate. There was one pivotal moment that changed everything. Alex had made a particularly nasty comment in a meeting, and I felt the usual anger and frustration bubbling up. But this time I decided to approach the situation differently. I remembered the Stoic principles I had been reading about, especially the idea that while we can't control others, we can control our reactions. I took a deep breath and calmly addressed Alex. I set clear boundaries, letting them know that their behavior was unacceptable and that I wouldn't tolerate it any longer. It wasn't easy, but I felt a sense of relief and empowerment. By not letting Alex's negativity dictate my emotions, I regained control over my own peace of mind. This approach didn't just help me in that moment, it changed how I dealt with similar situations in the future. It was like a light bulb moment. Suddenly, I was no longer a puppet on Alex's string of negativity. Setting boundaries is crucial when dealing with toxic individuals. It's not about being rude or confrontational. It's about protecting your own mental health. This means being clear about what behaviors you will and won't accept, and standing firm in your resolve. Sometimes it might even mean distancing yourself from the person altogether. For example, if a colleague continually disrespects your boundaries despite multiple conversations, it may be necessary to escalate the issue to a supervisor or HR. Think of it as putting up a "Do Not Disturb" sign on your emotional door. The Stoics teach us the importance of maintaining our inner tranquility. They remind us that our peace of mind is our responsibility. When you encounter toxic people, practice empathy, but also protect your boundaries. Focus on what you can control: your reactions, your emotions, your actions. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This principle can be a powerful tool in managing your interactions with toxic people. It's like having an emotional force field. Nothing gets in unless you let it. So, what are the key takeaways from dealing with toxic people the Stoic way? First, recognize the impact they have on you. Identify toxic behaviors and set firm boundaries. Most importantly, remember that your inner peace is paramount. By applying Stoic principles, you can navigate these challenging relationships without losing your sense of self. Here are some actionable steps you can take. Self-reflection. Understand how the toxic person affects you. Reflect on your emotions and reactions to their behavior. It's like holding up a mirror to your soul. Sometimes you see things you didn't expect. Establish boundaries. Clearly define what is acceptable and what is not. Communicate these boundaries calmly but firmly. Think of it as drawing a line in the sand, no crossing allowed. Stay calm and detached. Practice emotional detachment. Don't let their negativity invade your inner peace. Imagine you're a serene island in a stormy sea, unbothered and untouchable. Seek support. Don't be afraid to seek support from friends, family, or professionals. Sometimes talking things through can offer new perspectives and solutions. Remember, even superheroes need sidekicks. Limit exposure, if possible, reduce the time you spend with the toxic person. Sometimes, physical distance is necessary for emotional well-being. It's like social distancing, but for your sanity. Let's delve a bit deeper into why setting boundaries is essential and how Stoicism can help us maintain these boundaries effectively. Setting boundaries is not just about keeping others in check. It's also about defining our own space and protecting our mental health. It's like building a fortress around your happiness, sturdy walls and all. When we set boundaries, we're essentially telling ourselves that we value our well-being. It's an act of self-respect. The Stoic idea of focusing on what we can control is crucial here. We can't control how others behave, but we can control how we respond and what we allow into our lives. Think of it as having a VIP list for your mind. Only the good stuff gets in. Marcus Aurelius, another prominent Stoic philosopher, wrote extensively about maintaining inner peace amidst external chaos. He advised to be like the rock that the waves keep crashing over. It stands unmoved, and the raging of the sea falls still around it. This metaphor beautifully captures the essence of Stoic resilience. By setting boundaries, we become that rock, steady, grounded, and unshaken by the turbulence around us. You're basically the James Bond of emotional stability, cool, calm, and collected under pressure. Let's also talk about the role of empathy in dealing with toxic people. Stoicism doesn't mean we should become cold or indifferent. On the contrary, it encourages us to understand and empathize with others, recognizing that everyone is fighting their own battles. However, empathy doesn't mean sacrificing our own peace. It's about balancing compassion for others with self-care. Imagine you're a compassionate ninja, swift, understanding, but also knowing when to dodge the emotional daggers. For example, when dealing with Alex, I tried to understand why they behaved the way they did. Maybe they were unhappy with their own life or had issues that were manifesting as negativity. This understanding helped me approach the situation with compassion rather than anger. But I also knew that empathy didn't mean I had to endure their toxicity. I could be empathetic and still set firm boundaries. It's like being a lifeguard, ready to help but also knowing when to blow the whistle. Another valuable Stoic tool is the practice of journaling. Writing down our thoughts and feelings can help us process our experiences and gain clarity. When dealing with toxic people, journaling can be an excellent way to reflect on interactions and develop strategies for handling them better in the future. It allows us to see patterns, recognize triggers, and reinforce our commitment to maintaining our peace. It's like having a personal therapist who's available 24/7 and doesn't charge by the hour. One more point to consider is the power of mindfulness. Stoicism and mindfulness go hand in hand. Mindfulness helps us stay present and aware of our emotions without getting swept away by them. When we're mindful, we can catch ourselves before we react impulsively to a toxic person's provocations. We can take a moment to breathe, reflect, and choose our response consciously. It's like having a pause button for life, giving you that extra second to stay zen. In conclusion, dealing with toxic people the Stoic way is about much more than just setting boundaries. It's about cultivating a mindset of resilience, empathy, and mindfulness. It's about understanding that our peace of mind is within our control, no matter how chaotic the world around us may be. Thank you for sticking around until the end. I hope you found these insights helpful and empowering. Remember, you have the strength to navigate any relationship with grace and calmness. Keep practicing these Stoic principles, and you'll find that dealing with toxic people becomes less daunting and more manageable. You'll be the Zen master of your own life. Don't forget to share your experiences and tips in the comments below. Your stories and strategies might just help someone else facing similar challenges. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos on personal growth and self-improvement. Until next time, stay calm, stay stoic, and keep striving for a better, more peaceful you. Take care!